my dear friends. Hope you are doing good. I hope you're staying home and staying safe and preparing well and not getting distracted with any of the future thoughts like will I pass the exam or will the exam get postponed, all these things. So, what will happen in time. But yes, if there are any family members suffering from these pandemic situations, I do understand what's going through you, right? So, just don't lose your hope, be strong, and continue your studies. Okay, I also hope you have studied and listened to the last 8 videos of the ISKA revision in the MCQ and LDR format. So today in this video we are going to cover the recently ICA has released 100 MCQs, right, and also case study based MCQs. So in this video you are going to listen and understand and solve with me the 100 MCQs. So most probably I may do either 2 videos or 1 video. Let us see how the thing goes there. But as of now, this video is for the MCQs. So without much delay, let's get started. Okay, the first question: identify the statement that is not included in the internal control report of the management, which itself forms part of the company's annual report. So this statement should be not form part of the internal control but should form part of the company's annual report. So internal control generally talks about managerial responsibility, the framework used by the management in conducting the required evaluation for knowing the effectiveness of internal control. Also the internal control statement also includes the management the assessment of the effectiveness by the management, that the internal control system will disclose any material weakness in the company's internal control over financial reporting identified by the management. So these things, so these three, that is responsibility, then identifying the framework and assessing the effectiveness of the framework, these three must be there in the internal control report of the management. But what can be that statement which is not part of internal control but a part of company's annual report? So these first ABC will be a part of the internal control report and annual report. So that is not the answer. You want something which is not internal control but company's annual report. So let us see the D option: the statement that the registered private accounting firm that audited the financial statements included in the monthly report has issued an attestation report on the management assessment of the company's internal control over financial reporting. Exactly, this is like an audit report given by the accounting firm, that is the auditor, that the internal control is working effectively, so he is certifying it. So this is not for part of internal control because internal control report is taken care by the management and forms part of the company's annual report, but it is not, but the internal control report is not given by a third party. The third party, the being auditor, will certify the effectiveness of the internal control report, which is not forming part of the internal control report prepared by the management, but it is the part of the company's annual report. So what will be the answer? Yeah. Okay. Oh shit, I was unable to highlight it. Okay, next. It is a well-known fact that the knowledge of two types of explicit and tacit. Identify statement which does not hold true for the explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge. So in ICA question most you will find not based questions. So if we see explicit knowledge, it is the formalized one. We know that explicit knowledge is very formalized and it can be easily available to organization. We can customize it, like we can make it into reports and statements. Okay, but tacit knowledge is something which is particular to a very individual. It depends upon the experience, the thought process, etc. Okay, and explicit knowledge can be described and articulated, but tacit knowledge needs to be explained in such a manner that other people takes time to understand. So explicit knowledge can be formalized easily, yes. Tacit knowledge can is unarticulated and is believed to be an intuition belief which varies with individuals. Explicit knowledge is personal, experimental, context specific. No, explicit knowledge is not context specific, not personal. Explicit knowledge is general. Explicit knowledge is not tacit knowledge is very personal and experimental and very context specific, but explicit knowledge is general one. So what will be the answer now? The statement which does not hold true, this is the statement. What is the fourth one? Explicit knowledge is articulated, represented as spoken words, written material, and compiled data. Exactly. So these all A, B, and C, A, B, and D is holding true for explicit and tacit thing, but explicit knowledge is never personal. So that is the wrong statement there. Okay. Then The access control mechanism of an online application boundary system allows only the authentic users to access authorized resource. So if you remember the boundary controls thing, where always when you try to enter system, the system will try to identify the would-be user of system. They try to authenticate if the password and the criteria are valid or not. Then they see what authorization do they have to access what kind of resources. So what can be the three access control mechanisms, three sequences? What are the steps here? Identification, authentication, and authorization. So which one is that? Here, right? See, because you have completed chapter 1 to 8 revision, now this one will become bit easy. Okay, which of the following statement is incorrect respect to incremental data backup? So before going into incremental data thing, let us once again see here the incremental the data definition, because it will help you in revising. Okay, the reason why I'm taking back is that this data between incremental backup and differential backup you need to understand very clearly. Okay, so what is incremental backup? Incremental backup captures files that were changed or created since the last backup regardless of the backup type. This is the most economical backup, as only files that changed since the last backup are backed up. That is incremental backup. But if you see differential backup, it stores files that have been changed in last full backup. So in differential backup, we need first to have a full backup and then only it takes the differences. Therefore, if a file is changed after the previous full backup, a differential backup takes less time to complete than a full backup. So if you try to understand here, first for differential backup we need to definitely have a full backup and then it takes changes. But incremental backup, irrespective of any backup type, any small change compared to the last backup will be backed up in the incremental backup. Okay, now let us come back to the question. Which the following is incorrect with respect to incremental data backup? With incremental backup, one full backup is done first and subsequent backup run and are the changes made since the last full backup only. Is an incremental backup, do we need compulsory full backup? No, any backup is fine for it. So probably this can be the answer. Let us see other three statements also. Incremental backup restores are slower than a full backup and differential backup. Exactly, it restores are slower because it takes some time, because it has to go from the last backup to full backup. Full backup or the recent backup. Okay, so it takes more time. The use of storage space in incremental backup is efficient and files are not duplicated. Exactly, the files are not duplicated, only changes are covered. Incremental backup are faster than differential backup. Why? Because in differential backup we need always to have a full backup first, but incremental backup does not. There's no compulsory for having a full backup. So all B, C, and D are correct with respect to incremental backup. Only point A is wrong. I hope you're getting it. Okay, then after the request for proposal are received from the enterprise and various vendors, whenever we see the question request for proposal of the vendors, first what thing we come into the mind when we're trying to see the proposal of the vendors? We see the geographical location, their financial stability, and market feedback when selecting the vendors. Then which of the following factors not considered as a valid criteria for selecting the vendors? We just said three, those are valid criteria. So what is the not one? Point A, presentation by selected vendor. This is not a valid criteria while selecting a vendor. Why? Because when you're selecting a vendor, how good the presentation can be must not be carried away by it. You must see the financial stability, market feedback, and geographical location of that vendor. And after taking that vendor into consideration, then we will see the presentation of selected vendor. But for taking that vendor into selected consideration, we must know if we can take that vendor or not. For that matter, we see financial stability, market feedback, and geographical location. Okay. Then, the quality assurance management controls involve various functions that ensure the development, implementation, operation, and maintenance of information system conform to quality standards. Within such scope of the control in mind, what do you think is not true about the quality assurance management control? So, for the quality assurance management control, what is not true? Okay, let us see. Auditors might use interview, observation, and reviews of the documentation to evaluate how well quality assurance personnel perform the monitoring role. Exactly, that auditors will do for the people to understand that the quality assurance management is working in line with the required work to be done by them. Then the auditors might evaluate how well quality assurance personnel make recommendations for improving standards of process through interview, observation, review, and documentation. Yes, auditors will also see how well these people are recommending for the use of improved standards by using the process of interview and observations. Yes. So what is it trying to tell? In the keeping in mind the quality assurance management, keeping in mind the functions of the quality assurance management, which is not correct, not true. So first thing is right, that the auditors will try to see with the help of internal observation if the people are quality assurance people properly doing the role or not. They'll also see if they're suggesting proper improvements or not. Then uh, okay, the auditors can evaluate how well quality assurance personnel undertake the reporting function. Yes, exactly. The auditors can see how well they're participating, how well they're suggesting, how well they're undertaking the reporting function through various interviews. So auditors can see three things of the quality assurance personnel. What are those? First thing, first thing, evaluating how well they're doing the documentation, and then seeing how well they're recommending, and how well they're undertaking reporting function. Okay, then auditors check whether the organization that have been audited have appropriate high quality disaster recovery plan in place or not. So this term statement is for the auditor's assessment to see if the existing backup plan or existing DRF exists, but this is not related to quality assurance, right? So this is the answer for the question. Then the section 69 of the information technology is related to what? So section 69 generally deals with the power to issue directions for interception or monitoring or decryption of any information through any computer resource. So you are using any computer resource, if you want to issue any directions, or to want to stop any direction, want to monitor anything, or you want to decrypt the information, so that is done by, that is taken care by the, sorry, that for doing those activities the act gives a power. That power is given in section number 69. Okay, then every business decision is accompanied with a set of threat, and so is BYOD program, bring your own device, right? The risk exemplifies as lack of device visibility. So lack of device visibility means if device is not seen on the network, because in organization all devices are connected to a LAN network where people can see what device is doing, how much data is being consuming, what message incoming or outgoing happening to the device on the network can be seen. But now since the device is not visible, you can't say in the risk, which puts the team into practice, because they're unaware of the number of devices connected to the network. So this, what kind of risk it is? It is the network risk. It is not device risk. Device risk comes to some non-availability of the device or updation. So those things comes under devices. But here the lack of visibility, we are not seen in the network. That is called network risk. Then, while giving presentation on topic COBIT 5, Mr. Ravi mentioned about specific process named MEA, monitor, evaluate and assess. We have separate answer on MEA in our last day revision notes. Okay, and raise a query for the audience to identify the statement which does not fall under the preview of MEA. So MEA means monitor, evaluate and assess. So the one of the following below statements does not belong to monitor, evaluate and assess. Let us see that. First one, to enable the management to identify management deficiencies and inefficiencies and to initiate improvement action. So it is like assessing thing. So it is available in the MEA. To continuously monitor and evaluate the control environment, including self-assessment and independent assurance reviews. So we are trying to evaluate. So that is also there in the MEA. Then, to evaluate, direct and monitor IT management to ensure effectiveness, accountability and compliance of IT. Okay, to plan, organize, maintain standards for internal control, assessment and assurance activity. So we in the monitor, evaluate and assess, we take care of the internal control, assessment and assurance activities. So this is also there in the MEA. But in the monitor, evaluate and assess for a specific process in COBIT 5, we do not take care of the entire compliance of IT. So COBIT 5 may take care of entire compliance of IT, but MEA, monitor, evaluate and assess, will depending upon the valuation and identification of the risk, the deficiency, inefficiencies of the control environment taken care by the management. So that's why we do not take accountability of entire compliance of IT in MEA. So this one is the answer to the question, saying that which statement does not fall within the purview of MEA. So what does not fall? To evaluate, direct, monitor IT management to ensure effectiveness, accountability and compliance of IT. It is completely related to the entire COBIT 5, but not related specifically to MEA. Then, which of the following is not a characteristics of a computer-based information system? So CBS, we have seen even the answer. So let us see, he is asking what is not a characteristics. First thing, all systems work for a predetermined objective and systems are designed and developed accordingly. Yes, that is a characteristic. A system has a number of non-related and independent subsystem or component. The subsystem can function in isolation and does not depend upon any subsystem. Is actually false. We always have number of related and interdependent subsystems. So this is not a characteristics of the CBIS. Then, if one subsystem or component of a system fails, in most of the cases, the whole system does not work. However, it depends upon how subsystems are interrelated. Yes, that's true. The work done by individual subsystem is integrated to achieve the central goal of system. Exactly. So, only point B is not the characteristics of the computer-based information system. Then, in order to identify the system maintenance needs on a timely basis, the management of a company established formal mechanism to monitor the status of the operational program. Which of the following does not fall under scope of system maintenance? So, out of these four, one must not be related to system maintenance. First thing, repair maintenance in which programs errors are corrected is repair maintenance in which we correct the programs. Adaptive maintenance in which programs are modified to meet the changing user requirement. We try to adapt the system as per the needs of the enterprise. Then perfective maintenance in which the program is tuned to decrease the resource consumption. Okay, yes, exactly. We do a lot of perfective maintenance so that with the least resource more can be achieved. Then adaptive maintenance in which program is tuned to decrease resource consumption. Here in adaptive maintenance we don't do an increase decrease. We try to modify the program to meet the changing requirements. So this one will not form part of the system maintenance scope. Okay. Following are the various data backup options in case any disaster occurs in an enterprise. Which of the following backup option is the most expensive to be maintained because of the critical activities and minimum tolerance of downtime? Generally, warm side will be the most costly one. Sorry, it's not hot side. Hot side will be the most costly one. So cold side is very plain, having just a raised floor for you to go and just place and have more. You have to do more investment to set up everything there. It's just like a small space available for you to go. And hot site is something which everything is equipped like mainframe, all the software requirements, plug and play, all requirement. It's a complete really ready to use office kind of thing. The warm side is in between them. It has a few features of cold and hot side. And reciprocal agreement means you're trying to even have share this backup facility with another enterprise, like other company tries to provide you the backup when you are in disaster, you provide to them when they need it. So which is the most expensive? Host side is most expensive one. Then Mr. X, a member of system development team who visits the client company XYZ. Okay. Then frequently to interview the employees to gather the details regarding the drawback of existing system in the company XYZ Limited and understand their future requirements. Identify what is Mr. X being performing. So here is going to the company, getting the details, trying to talk with them, know their issues, trying to understand the entire thing about the existing system. So he's not a programmer, he is not programming any business language. He can be business analyst because he's trying to understand the business, the company, the employees, and the requirements and the issues with the existing system. He's not a project leader, not a project manager. He's just going to take the data from the and understand the situation from the company. So he is a business analyst. Next, in an organization ABC Limited, okay, then the tenets of policy, procedure, and standards as defined by the management are required to be followed. Okay, Mr. Accountant Mr. X, due to enmity, misused his access right and made changes in the credit points earned by salesperson Mr. A on every sale of his customers. During the audit, the auditor Mr. B suspected this discrepancy and preferred to embed an audit software module into the accountant Mr. A's host application software to determine the frequency with which he had made changes in the credit points of Mr. A. Which of the following audit tools used by Mr. B in this case? So here Mr. X want to had done some changes to Mr. A. So Mr. B has came to know about it and want to know how many times he has done it. So he want to embed a software order software module into the Mr. X application system. So what he's trying to embed it, when he's trying to embed something, he's trying to not to indicate test facilities, not testing transactions, he's not taking any snapshots, he's not using audit hooks, but what is he doing? He's trying to embed a data and collect the data from it and then analyze it. So he's doing this tool, he's taking system control audit review file. Okay. Then the section 43A of the information technology was introduced on which one? So we are 43A is cash responsibility government, no. On body corporates, no. Protect sensitive personal information, no. But cash responsibility on body corporates to protect sensitive personal information is given by this section. Okay. Then In cloud computing, which of the following cloud highest level of security and privacy to the user? So generally, the private cloud has the highest level of security and privacy compared to any other cloud in the cloud forms. Then in database, the implementation of database is implemented at three levels: physical, logical, and external. Which of the statements are true about these levels? Okay, so ask among the three levels: physical, logical, and external, which of the following is true? Okay, physical level involves implementing database on a hard disk. Exactly. Physical level defines schema which is divided into small known as subschemas. No, it belongs to logical unit. Then logical level defines schema which is divided into sorry D. Physical level defines schema which is divided into smaller units known as subschema. It is external level. Now logical level defines schema 1 which is divided into smaller units called subschema. No, it belongs to external level. External level deals with the nature of data stored and scheme of the data. No, storage then in the physical level. So only the first one, physical level, involves implementing database on the hard disk is the right answer. Business continuity planning is by nature is a type of dash. So it is which what you're trying to do, you're trying to do a corrective control. Means you're anticipating it can happen and you're trying to provide corrective actions if this happens. So it is a corrective control. It is not directive control, not trying to find it out. You're trying to, once it arises, you're trying to control it. Therefore corrective control. Then an MNC acquired an Indian company. The day acquisition was implemented, the MNC replaced all systems in the Indian company with the brand B system, whereas Indian company was using brand A. Above scenarios show that replace system can be a huge cost. In today's competitive environment, it may not be possible for all the companies to bear such expenses. So they allow employees to use their own system rather than changing system with a specific brand. This concept relies to see. It is saying allow the employees to use their own device. So this concept belonging to bring your own device, BYOD policy. Next, in today's changing times where the audit evidence are more in electronic form, the auditors can use need to use audit tools and techniques helping them do such audit. This section within Information Technology Act 2000 talks about where records are kept in electronic form. So records are kept in electronic form and it is okay for the people to keep records in electronic form. It is given in section 7A. Okay. Amongst various system development methodology, a software development methodology combines both iterative and incremental approach. This we have even discussed chapter number 5 also. Iterative and incremental approach is given in agile model. Okay, spiral model is very complex thing. Prototype is only having an iterative thing. Rapid application development is for it has fast, it does not have any combination of these things. It is only focused on developing system very fast. But which system development has iterative and incremental method, it is given in agile model. The board of directors of the company have appointed you as a BCP consultant, okay, then, and have requested you to explain the implementation of the business continuity plan to prevent minimize the loss. Your report shall highlight following reason for having BCP except this reason. So why you want to say why you need BCP, to in order to reduce revenue loss, in order to reduce reputation loss, in order to reduce the productivity loss. But will not have business continuity plan to get new customers. Depending upon our business plan, people may come, customers may come, but depending upon our backup plan, the customers will not come. So this is not the reason for developing a BCP. Then ABC Limited has decided to implement Balance Scorecard, a strategy performance management tool. This initiative is covered under which part of the enterprise governance? So, in enterprise governance, we are trying to introduce uh, a strategical performance management tool to under the balance scorecard to know our work, to know our can say the capacity of the business. Okay, so in which of the following of enterprise governance does this have? So corporate governance is related to corporate thing, not related to the work culture. Social governance and legal governance, no such concepts of the sort in our ISCA paper. So what can it be? It is covered in the business governance. Okay. Next, PQR Limited has implemented a customer relationship management system which is also integrated with ERP. Okay. Next, so whenever a new purchase order from customer is entered into ERP, the CRM flashes customer's history with the company and advises whether to accept the order or not. The CRM system will be classified under which category? Okay, so here what you're doing, you're trying to you are implementing a customer relationship management with the ERP. Whenever order is coming, the system will check with the ERP to know if the order can be accepted or not. So if you see what type of system is it? Is it abstract system? Abstract means it is you can say the acts of God or or having certain kind of ideas only. No, it is not an idea kind of thing. It is not a physical system where we can touch ERP software. It is not a probability system which will give a chance of success or a loss of a particular idea. It is a deterministic system, like depending upon the result it will try to see if to try to analyze if the order can be accepted or not. So it is a deterministic system. Next, PQR Limited got a small program developed to extract its customers' related billing and payment information in a predefined format. The programmer introduced a small patch whereby the same information will be directly emailed to him without intimation to PQR Limited. PQR Limited is facing which type of virus attack? So what is doing? They developed a small billing system, and the programmer, what did he do, he want to sell that, maybe he want to take some gain out of the data, so he kept a small patch where all data will be sent to him without even PQR Limited knowing it. So what kind of virus attack? It is not a logic bomb, it is not a thing which will burst upon event happening. It is not a worm attack. Worm attack means it's a kind of virus spreading in the system. It is not denial of service is not being denied, but it is Trojan horse. Trojan horse means without any intimation, without any harm, the things are getting transferred to another network. So Trojan horse is the answer. Okay. Okay, so now let's go to the 26th bit. Okay, ABC Limited has installed LHC backup system whereby data is backed up almost every second from the live environment to the backup drive. Which type of backup AB Limited has implemented? So it is not something which we are doing by own, but it's something which is happening on real time basis every second. So that comes with the mirror backup. Mirror backup is something where it mirrors actually what's happening to the main system there. So mirror backup is the answer for the question. Then ABC Limited is proposing to introduce the fitness awareness among the employees by gifting Fitbit gadgets to all the employees. The employees will be given targets for the personal fitness. The management wants to evaluate the feasibility of this initiative. Which dimension is tested here? So they're giving something related to a gadget, a technological thing, right? Though it is a technology related gadget, they want to see, they want to give targets to the employees and they want to know how much well they're doing. So what is technical feasibility? Technical feasibility comes for using if the required technology is there for implementing system or not. Economic feasibility comes as to what is the economic aspects related to this project. Operational feasibility comes how well the project will be if it's implemented, how well it goes, and how the day-to-day operations will be affected. Then behavioral feasibility comes how people or the employees will be reacting or responding to this initiative. So here what the people are doing, AB is proposing to fitness awareness. It is not in general. Fitness awareness is trying to help the employees to maintain good health, but it is not the main work of the employees. So the company wants to know how this feasible how well this personal fitness thing will be implemented among the employees. They want to know how employees will be reacting or responding to it. So here we are trying to see the behavior feasibility of the employees. Okay, that is the feasibility what they're trying to go through. Then PQR Limited has intranet system where the authorized user must sign in with credentials, and all the software available on the intranet can be used without individual sign-in process. The single sign-in system ensures which control. So what is saying in the intranet means it is available only to the employees. Okay, so they have to log in with the credentials, and everything on the internet software can be used without any individual sign in. Means every module need not be signed in, one sign is sufficient. So it is something which you can say it is related to entry in getting the access to system. That is called what? That is the boundary control. So once you get the access, then only you can use the resource, right? So here we are talking about the boundary control. Then ABC Limited provides server hosting, website hosting, database hosting services to customers. Everything hosting is being done. It enters into stringent service level arrangements with the customers to provide agreed level of service. Which security standard ABC Limited should adopt from the service management point of view? So it's providing services to the employees regarding hosting of the server, website, database, and trying to provide agreed level of service. So among the three, see, ISO is a standard for maintaining security. Corporate is a framework for implementation of IT. Decision support system is a kind of computer. So you can say it's a uh, computer based system which is going to support the decision making of the managers. But here is asking, as per service management point of view, what standard should be followed. So here we need IT infrastructure library. ITIL is the standard which is going to tell about the service management, which defines all the services provided by any company to its customers. This is how you can, I hope you have read this. It is present in chapter number 7. Then ABC Limited is digital signature issuing company based out of Delhi. Okay, it has outsourced its core infrastructure of digital signature infrastructure repository to PQR Limited. So where it has to maintain the signature, a database kind of thing, is outsourced to PQR Limited, which provides IT infrastructure hosting service to the customer. So the PQR Limited is going to hold the database for the ABC Limited regarding the digital signature and digital signature details. PQR Limited has provided separate space and servers within the office premises of ABC application only. Okay, then and database network hosting, and no other company sharing that with infrastructure, so it's exclusive to the ABC. Which type of cloud service used by ABC is given to third party but on the premises of the company only. So it is, you can say it is you can say it is outsourced one. Yeah, it is private. It is a, you can say it is, come on, I hope you have to recollect the definitions of public, private, hybrid, and community clouds. If you recollect it, it will be, it is a private cloud, means it is exclusively used by ABC Limited only, the database, server, everything, but it is outsourced. It is given to the third party PQR Limited. You can't say on premise private cloud. The simple reason is that on premise you can't use, because though it is in the premises, it is not theirs. It is developed and maintained by PQR Limited. Therefore, it's outsourced private cloud. Okay, then the governance process under Codify involve EDM practices. What does EDM stand for? This is present in our first chapter. Just a minute. So, what does E stands for? E stands for evaluate, and D stands for direct, and M stands for monitor. So, evaluate, direct, monitor is a full form of the EDM. Okay. Then, which of the following statement is true about management information system, MIS? The study of MIS is about use of computers. No. Any computer-based information system is MIS. No. More data is generated report refers to more information to the managers. It is also not true about MIS, but MIS is a management oriented. Yeah, that is true. It's management oriented and management directed. Then the dash is the act of following an authorized personnel through a secure door or electronically attaching to an authorized telecommunication link that intercepts and alters transmission. So this one, if you remember, is most famous definition, like you're trying to follow authorized personnel and entering him through the secure door, or you're trying to attach yourself to an authorized telecommunication line and you try to alter the transaction. That is called piggybacking. Because denial of service means not giving the service, data leakage means you're losing the data because of the wrong connection, and wiretapping means just hearing the conversation or communication between two users, but you can alter only in piggybacking. Okay. Then, in case of development of business continuity plan, which of the following is not an object of performing BCP test? Why do we perform test? We perform the test. We perform the test to know the recovery procedures are complete or not. So, what are recovery procedures we drafted? Are they working or not? Then, the competence of the personnel in their performance of recovery procedure, are the people whom we appointed as a BCP team, are they performing well or not? Then, to identify critical business operation, no. To success or failure of the business continuity training program is monitored. So we do the testing to see if the plan that we drew, the people whom we appointed, are functioning and working as per the required needs or not. But if we, in the testing thing, we don't see the critical business or process. We see the critical business process in the starting of the business continuity plan. Based upon the process, we develop a plan to secure those critical business processes, and then we do the testing to see if they are working properly or not. So this will be the right answer for this question. Then, which of the following is true about spiral model? This is very interesting model, right? It combines the feature of prototyping and waterfall. Yes, it does it. It features prototyping model only. No. It features waterfall model only. No. It is intended for small sample projects. No, it's for large complex projects. So it is what is true about spiral model. It combines the feature of prototyping and waterfall. We have covered the spiral model and the features and characteristics in chapter number 5 revision. So please go to the chapter and see this video further for you to recollect and revise. Okay, then which of the following is not an advantage of continuous audit technique? So continuous audit technique, what is not the advantage? First thing is timely, comprehensive, and detailed auditing, because it happens instant on continuous basis. It gives training to the user to know what to do, what not to do. It gives suppressed test capability, because we don't know from when and from at what time order will come. No need for prior knowledge and experience of working with CAT. No, we need to have prior knowledge and experience to work with computer assisted audit techniques, else we can't do the continuous audit here. So this is the right answer for the question. Then the section 66A of the Information Technology Act 2000 relates to which one? 66A. It talks about punishment for offenses, sending offensive messages through communication services. So this is taken care by the section 66A. The punishment is given here. For knowing further punishments, you have to study chapter number 7. In the video, we have revised multiple times the penalties and the section numbers and for which the penalty is related to. So you can go to the chapter number 7 and revise it. So almost all videos related to 1.5 hour easy for you to cover. Then, is the statement public cloud and are highly scalable and affordable but less secure true? Of course it is true, but it requires stringent SLAs. Okay, yes, it is true, because you can easily find out the answer. So the three options are saying no, but the statement is true. Yes, they're scalable, highly affordable but less secure, and require stringent SLAs, service level agreements. Then the following terms are related to the concept of internal control, except internal control. We have these following concepts, except what one? We have COSO. It talks about the framework of internal control. Also, we have SOX. We have cross-functional listing agreement. All these things talks about internal control or financial reporting. But section 133 of the Companies Act will not talk about that. Okay. Because section 133 deals with standards of accounting prescribed by National Financial Reporting Authority, so this will not form part of the answer there. So it will not form part of the internal control. Okay, then which of the following statement is not correct? So we have to find the incorrect statement here. First, cost accounting system is example of decision support system. Yes, because we can try to take a decision if you want to invest or invest in the capital decision or not, right? We can take calls depending upon the analysis in the cost accounting system. Explicit knowledge is articulated and represented as spoken words, written material, and compiled data. Yes, true. Tacit knowledge is articulated and represented as a spoken word, written material, and compiled data. No, it is unarticulated. It is very personal, based upon intuition, and depends upon the experience. Then, middle management requires tacit information that helps in implementing decision taken by top management. It requires some tacit information, like depending upon the experience, intuition. The middle management can take some decision to implement the top management. So middle management needs both explicit and tacit knowledge there. So the C bit will form the right answer for this question, because it is not a correct statement. Which of the following is not an example of directive control? Okay, we have hash totals. Hash total will help us to detect if there are any errors or any kind of mistakes happening. Duplicate checking of calculation, we can see if there is any duplication involved. Cash count and bank reconciliation also help detect any errors or any kind of frauds, but backup procedure will not help us to find anything there, only backs up the data. So backup procedure is not a directive control. Okay, then identifies the correct broad and sequential actions sections into which the business continued life cycle is broken. So we need to find out the sequences of business life cycle. First, risk assessment. Generally we all do risk assessment, we know that. So A and D should be in one of A and D will have the answer. First is risk assessment. Once we determine the risk, we see what are the recovery alternatives available. Okay, and then we develop a recovery plan, and then we validate the plan, and then we implement the plan validated. One can say, ma'am, after risk recovery, why can't we do risk plan validation? After you know the risk, first you draw the alternatives to recover from the risk. Once you draw the plans to recover, you will implement the plan, then you will validate the plan, then you will see what steps to be taken further. So this option A will form part of the answer. That is, it is a sequence of the steps taken in business continuity life cycle. Then, in the system development life cycle, Dash is normally responsible for more than one project and liaising with the client or affected function. So generally it will be the project manager, because project manager is a person who is responsible for more than one project. So project leader is responsible only for that project, but project leader is reporting to the manager who manages more than one project. Therefore project manager will be an important person who is taking care of more than one project there. Then, under application control, dash are responsible for computing, sorting, classifying, and summarizing the data. So, boundary control is for getting into the system. Communication control is for getting the information from one person to another, one system to another. Output control is to maintain, have a grip on the output thing. But processing control is something responsible for computing, sorting, classifying, and summarizing the data. So, processing control will form part of this. Next, XYZ Bank has implemented a core banking solution. Since the password policy is not implemented properly, users can keep short-length login passwords for CBS access. This is called dash and information system concept. So this is, you can say, this is called what? This is called vulnerability. Means there is a weakness in the system. Short password can lead to any can welcome any sort of threat there. So there is a vulnerability. Then, meteorological department declares prediction of rain in the month of May based upon which farmers decide to sow seeds in their field. Okay. Then, if the prediction goes wrong, farmer face severe problem of resowing the seeds. What characteristics of information is here? This is not confidential. Everybody must know when the rain may come. It does not deal with integrity. Integrity means the authenticity of the data. Meteorological department saying that it may rain in May, it can be authentic because it gives after using certain parameters and statistics, certain formulas. So it is not a vague answer given by the department. Availability, yeah, the information available to everybody, but the question comes, what if the decision goes wrong, what if the prediction goes wrong? Means how well the farmer can rely on the information. So here the reliability of the question is being questioned here. Okay, so just remember something, don't question the question. If you question the question questions you. So I think generally some questions in the exam, if we if even if it gets why this question is there in the exam, still we need to write it. Then, XYZ Bank has implemented a strict password policy whereby every user has minimum 8 characteristics alphanumeric login password, and that password must be reset after 30 days to get access to core banking solution. As per classification of IS control, which type of control is this? So there is strict control as to change the policy and with minimum length. So here we are trying to prevent any sort of risk or any sort of damage or any sort of threat or attack on the system. So we are trying to prevent it. Therefore this is the preventive control. We are not directing it, we are not correcting it, we are not compensating the risk, but we are trying to prevent it by using a high quality length password. Then, ABC Limited carries out fire drills in the company every 6 months, whereby fire-like situation is stimulated and the preparedness of the organization and its personnel for facing disaster verified. This is dash under base control plan. This test plan. Of course, it is test plan. We know that, right? Okay. Next. PQR Limited is a software development company. One of its employees, Mr. Rajesh, has responsibility to interact with the users of the computer system and understand the requirement from the system. Which role is performed by the Rajesh? So he is trying to interact and understand. Whenever the question comes, the person is talking with the other people of the organization, trying to understand existing system. The every work is done. That kind of work is done by business analyst only. Then, ABC company has implemented an ERP and the sales team requested to provide access to accounts finance module, which was denied by the IT team. So IT team has implemented the ERP and sales team. What did they ask? They requested the people to, the sales is asking the IT team to provide access to finance and accounts. Why sales team need finance and accounts? Sales must do only sales. They must need only the data of stock available in the record. They must have access only to the people who are the data whom they have to follow up if required to get the payment. But why do they need accounts? Accounts people take care of from where the purchase is coming, whom they are selling, whom to do the payments. So they may be some reason they may want to some manipulate some sales there, who knows. So they are asking some accounts. So IT team, that they're requesting the IT team to give the access to accounts and finance module. Which of the application security control was tested here? So here here we're talking about the other non-related team asking the information of another module. So here if we give them the access, it can happen that it can lead to confidentiality issues, like the financing, everything will be exposed to the sales team. They know from whom, from where we are doing, from where we are purchasing, how much we are paying, what is the discount taken, everything they'll come to know. right? Integrity is not the question. Depending, is the information true or false is not taken, not bothered by the sales team. They get the data to whom we are dealing. Availability, the availability of the information here, it is not the concept of testing the availability, because information is there. Information is there or not there is taken care of availability. Information is there, that is not the problem. And timeline is also not the problem, because anytime they get the information, it gets lost there, it should not be given. So confidentiality is tested here, like how much the IT team is trying to protect the one module from the other module there. Okay, so this covers the 50. So what I'll do, I'll just stop here. Okay, and the next video will take care from 51 to 100. So even you can also take a break and revise any concepts if you are not perfect in that. So don't worry, just let's take up the 51 to 100 in the upcoming video. I hope till here you have enjoyed this video, my friends. So, but please keep studying the practice manual RTP, and I know times are very tough, but still don't lose hope, keep on doing it. That is only a way you can come out of this stressful times. So happy studies, take care, all the best.